Hello there. My name is Jaiye Bynoe. You on the Jayman Show, which is on WBCA 102.9 FM, Boston's local community station. My guest today is Yelena Rodriguez, a wonderful singer. Hi, hi, Lena. Good to see you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your show. But
Absolutely.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm very blessed. I'm so blessed to have you on my show. I mean, because when I saw you on YouTube, saying like, wow, it's such an amazing gifted singer. So my question is, how did you get started in singing?
Yeah, so I started singing when I was about 7 years old. My father, it pretty much started because my father introduced me to Selena.
Oh wow.
And yeah, he bought me the movie one day, like, randomly, and I started watching it. And I pretty much, like fell in love. Just seeing, what she did, like the way she sang, the way that she, was as a person and like the music, everything. It just was really inspiring for me. And I would kind of just like start watching a lot of her videos and listen to a lot of her music. And I started kind of like copying what she would do and stuff. And then I guess that's when I kind of figured out that I could sing, I guess. And
Yeah.
then from there, I started listening to like other artists like Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, Kelly Clarkson, like so many others. And, I pretty much just fell in love with music.
Well, that's wonderful. She was definitely one of a kind thing. I love Selena. She really was inspiration to me as well. Yeah. And so did you, so so since you've been singing, have you met have you got to meet any famous musicians, any famous singers since you've been singing?
So I was actually in LA this past like the beginning of this month for Grammys week, and I actually ended up meeting one of my popular artists, which is her name is Toast. She's
Uh-huh.
the one. I'm sorry, her song is titled Toast, but her name is Coffee.
Oh,
So she's like a Jamaican artist. So that was really cool.
that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see. Wow. So what is your music? So what is your music about? I mean, is it like a lot like almost like Selena or I like to hear like mention like we hear today.
Yeah, so like I would say my music, well, I'm still kind of working on, I'm still kind of working on my sound, also like developing new sounds and um, you know, figuring out like, kind of how I want to identify myself. But as right now, I identify myself as a Latin R&B soul artist. So my music, I sing songs in Spanish and English, but I also, do music that's like upbeat, but most of my music is more so slow because, I'm a very soulful person, I would say, especially my voice. So, the music that, I hope that I continue to release is kind of like a mix of like Latin and soul.
Mhm.
That's how I kind of can put it. But of course, as my career, progresses and goes forward, I'll definitely work on doing more upbeat music, maybe Afro beats or, anything that makes sense and, where I'm able to showcase my talent. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's wonderful. So now, aside from singing, I also into producing or acting as well.
Say it again one more time.
I said so aside from singing, right? Are you also into acting or producing music as well?
So when I was younger, I was into acting when I was younger. I also do modeling as well too. Um, and I've been doing modeling since I was like a kid as well. Acting, I did that when I was very young too. But acting, mm, I don't really like, it's not really like my, it's like number three on my list, I would say. Like it's not something that, I wouldn't mind doing it, but it's not like I'm not an actor. Like I'm an artist. Like music is my first love and modeling comes afterwards. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Do you also play? Do you also play any instruments as well?
No, I don't, but I'm actually working on, learning how to play the guitar and how to play the piano. So I'm working on that right now.
That's
So yeah.
that's wonderful. So what inspires you? What gives you inspiration and hope to do what you do?
Um, I think the biggest thing is just remembering like why I came on this earth. I believe that, God definitely gave me a talent um that um I should definitely utilize for, for the greater good and definitely use it to my fullest potential. And I definitely feel like too with the talents that I have, potential to heal people with my music, with my voice, and also to help people. So, what keeps me going is just knowing that, you know, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why I'm pursuing this career. This is a reason why I have the voice that I have. There's a reason why, like, music has always been my first love. And there have been many times where like I wanted to, you know, tell myself like, oh, let's not do music because it's not realistic. But it always came back to me, and I was always reminded of why I should really consider doing it as a career and why this is my purpose. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely understand. Yeah. So what advice can you give? What advice can you give artists and musicians that wanna be a singer like you? What advice can you give them?
I mean, the biggest advice I'll give to them is that they need to come into this with an open mind, but also know that going, going after a dream or career like this is not going to be easy, especially starting out, being an independent artist. You do need to realize that like this is a career that can be very expensive. Like you're gonna have to put in a lot of money
Hmm.
towards different things. And in the beginning, you'll probably think to yourself that um you don't need to, or that like, oh, this is too much. But if this is something that you truly want to do,
Yeah.
money's it's not going to be really a huge concern. Like sometimes it will be, because at the end of the day, yes, you're going to start off like, having to still work a job that you probably don't like, and you're gonna have to kind of like sacrifice certain things to go after your dream. But the biggest thing is just be realistic and just keep an open mind,
Mhm.
and also learn to listen, and just yeah, and just be aware of the people that you have, that you surround yourself, and who's trying to help you and who says they want to help you but are not really. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, that's definitely good to hear. I guess my next question to you is, do you have any coming on soon? We can hear any. Are you working on anything special right now coming out?
Right now, so the last single that I had that came out was back in December, called Diabla.
Hmm.
And right now, currently, music wise, I'm working on my first EP, so my big, first project ever. Um, it will be coming out sometime in the summertime.
Okay,
So early summer. So yeah, so that's in the works right now.
I'm looking forward to hearing that. And do you think you might go on a tour, right? Go on a tour when it comes out.
Yeah, I do think that I probably, will go to certain states to just promote it and sing at different like, venues and
Mhm.
places. So yeah, definitely for sure.
Okay, yeah, okay. And I saw that you're from Boston, right? Like I am. You were born in Boston, but you moved to Florida. And it is I are you in Boston right now, or Florida right now?
I'm in Boston right now. I live in Boston currently.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Okay, that's good. Me too. Okay, that's awesome. Okay. Wow. So I see. That's good. So like, yeah. Okay. So, so, and okay. So my question is how did COVID, how did COVID affect you? Have they been shut down?
Um, COVID, I would say COVID was a tough time for a lot of people. Obviously, that time was very tough. And it was very unfortunate. But for me, COVID during that time, it I would say it kind of helped me stay focused. I was like still able to go to the studio at that time when I wasn't supposed to. I still was working on music and planning things out, and around that time, that was when I pretty much started, in a sense, like my music career. Like in 2020 was when I released my first song um on my own. And then after that, I just when COVID happened, I just didn't really let it affect me. I just didn't really let it stop me from doing what I wanted to do. So
That's that's definitely good. Yeah, I hear that. So what do you see for so what do you see for see yourself years from now? Maybe being a professional singer, recording albums, having Grammys.
yeah, I do see myself definitely, being part of the recording academy. I do see myself traveling around the world, becoming the artist I was meant to become, being at the top, of the, music industry, and just, traveling, around the world and meeting, tons of people and singing at different places and, hopefully, not hopefully, but we'll be singing at different, award shows and events like that. So yeah.
I see that for you too, definitely. I know this business can be, but this business can be kind of tough, right, to get into. So how do you, how can you sort of tell someone is someone is sort of real or not? Like if it's if it's like a short thing, how can you tell if someone's for real or just saying that they're real and taking money? How do you tell for yourself?
I think what I've learned how to tell if like a person's kind of speaking, how do you say it, like actions speak louder than words type of thing, like what they're saying is honest and is kind of going by like their actions. So like, I've had people before who've reached out to me, asked telling me that they want to help me with certain things, and then once I kind of notice that there's no consistency, like reaching out to you more than you're reaching out to me. You say you're gonna want to have like do a meeting with me, but you don't answer the phone, or you don't get back to me or like the day that we are supposed to meet, I don't hear from you. That's someone who's not trying to help you. That's someone that's just, excuse me my language, but is bullshitting you.
Yeah.
So people like that, unfortunately, you are gonna meet them, especially being in this industry, being in this type of environment. There are people who are like that, and there are worse people who, will probably make it seem they want to really help you and they have a secret motive. But and sometimes we don't want to think that way because always want to think positive. But the reality is like, I think the biggest thing to answer your question is just actions, just seeing what a person's about. If you notice, like if you get a feeling like, yeah, no, I don't think this person's really being honest. I really think they're just wasting my time, then most likely, yeah, they are. So,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. What else do you like to do in your spare time for travel or for formally not sing? What do you like to do for fun and travel wise?
like on my spare time,
Yeah, spare time. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to work out. I like to spend time with my parents, even though I don't do it as much because I have such a hectic schedule. But when I'm not doing music, I do try to relax as much as I can because I am the type of person that tends to have a hard time trying to relax, or having a hard time just not doing anything because I'm always doing something. So on my spare time, I definitely, just try to relax, maybe watch a movie or something, in my room, or just read a book or anything of that sort. But yeah, just self-care, I would say.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Yes. So what was it like going what was like growing up for you as a child? What was your childhood like? Was it
Yeah, my childhood was it was pretty, it was pretty good at times, but other times it was kind of hard.
uh,
Um, my parents didn't have the perfect relate marriage. And my dad wasn't a perfect person, and so there were things that, I saw growing up as a child that, would be considered as like, toxic and not appropriate. And but on the other side of things, my parents spoiled me growing up. Luckily for my parents, they were able to take me to Disney. And that's like, I feel like growing up, that's the one thing that a child wants to do is, go to Disney.
Yeah.
Back then. Now I don't know so much how kids feel nowadays, but I would say kids probably still want to go to Disney. But back then, growing up, that was like the biggest thing was like, going to Disney was
Yeah.
like the most amazing thing ever. Like if you as a kid you were able to do that, like you're lucky type of thing. And so I was grateful, despite other things that were going on at home, that my parents did always try to give me, things that I wanted and things that I asked for, and that they always did try to do things as a family. And I'm very grateful that they were able to take me to Disney because I had amazing experiences going to Disney and especially when I was living in Florida. So my childhood wasn't, I don't want to say it was horrible, but it definitely, there were certain things about it that, were kind of a little bit traumatizing and kind of difficult. But, someday I'll probably talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like you. I love Walt Disney World too. I've been going since I was a kid myself. I went last year because it was so beautiful at Christmas time. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So did you finish college?
I did, yeah. I graduated from college back in 2019, from Emmanuel College in Boston.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, see, yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, yeah. I went to college too, and from a Foxy Community College, I'm supposed to be in Love So yeah, so that's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, yeah. And so, so yeah. Wow, this is wonderful. I'm trying to think of. um, s- So what kind of song? What kind of songs do you like to sing about? A love, intimacy. What kind of songs do you like to talk about?
I mean, I like to sing songs mostly about like love or just feelings or um like intimacy or songs about like I don't know, like an alter ego, like talking about a person that you're not really like in a real life. Like, say if you're really nice in real life, songs I like to talk about how it would feel to be like kind of like the bad type of person or the person that, would like to take your partner away from you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like just, something kind of fun, spicy, but also sing two songs that have meaning behind it and songs that are deep and songs that are you know, timeless.
Yeah,
So,
that's one of it. Yeah. So how? As a singer, as a singer, how do you deal with racism? Racism, like, how does it affect you? Being Latin. Like being Latin. Or how does it affect you compared to Mexico?
so you said, how does it what?
I asked how does racism affect you as a singer? Is it like compared to to being like Latin Mexican? How does it affect you basically? Do people treat
Like,
you?
how does how does music affect me being like, oh, like Latina?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Racism, yeah.
Okay, and racism. Honestly, I haven't really endured racism when it comes to my music. Like when it comes to music,
Mhm.
I really haven't had any issues. I mean, I would say in Boston, being a Latin artist, it is kind of hard to figure out where to fit in. And even like back in December, I won Latin Artist of the Year. I was nominated by Boston Music Awards. And a lot of the people who won that night were able to perform.
Mhm.
I didn't perform. I wasn't asked to, but I know some people said to me, "Oh, you probably didn't perform because of the fact that you're a Latin artist and you sing in Spanish and people are not going to understand." And I didn't want to think of it that way because I'm like, no, I don't think that's why. But, I started talking to some people who kind of like felt like maybe there was some like racism applied to like, the decision performance, but again, I didn't want to really think that way. And so, but besides that, I just feel like being in mass, again, for Latin artists, it is kind of hard to figure out what scene, excuse me, you fit in, especially because the music scene in Massachusetts, it's very heavy, it's very like hip hop, influence. And um so like for that reason, you kind of have to like figure out like how you can fit in. So
Yeah.
hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I think it does. Yeah. Are you gonna gonna be doing any shows in Boston anytime soon, or while you're here in Boston?
I for this upcoming month, I may have one show that I'm doing, but as of right now, I'm just really focused on working on my EP and connecting with people and doing interviews. So like shows will definitely happen this year in Boston, but just when the time comes or when the opportunity comes. So yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely show them this, like, so we can meet, Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I also gonna be doing, I just also gonna be doing a meet and greet at a show as well. A meet and greet.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's fun to hear, Yeah. So my question to you what made you move to Florida? I heard did you move to Florida at some point in your life?
Yeah, I did grow up. So I moved to Florida when I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
My parents were the ones that decided to move over there. Um, so I lived there for about 7 to 8 years.
Mhm.
And then I came back to Boston when I was in middle school and have been living in Boston for about, I think, close to 8 years now. But I'm actually thinking about relocating back to Florida,
Yeah.
particularly Miami, just because of music purposes. The Latin industry is over there, and I feel that I'll definitely create more connections over there, and that things will fall into place more. Being in that type of scene and
Mhm.
environment. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna move about going to school in Orlando in the fall. Because get my bachelor's degree, and because Boston don't care, but I just don't like the snow. I should have getting a big snowstorm tonight. So yeah, so I'm trying to get out of Boston.
Right.
I like the snow.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, wow, and and do you have any plans to maybe move to California at some point? Maybe move to California at some point, because I know that there's an opportunity in California.
Yeah, probably later on in my life, I probably will consider moving over there.
Yeah.
Probably not now, but later on,
Okay.
possibly, yeah.
Okay. Have you also have you also been to Mexico to us?
And I've been to Mexico. I've been to like Tulum
Okay.
before. I definitely would love to go back, and I would love to go there to sing, to do music over there too. So
That's good.
yeah.
Did you happen to see Selena's house where she was born? Selena's house where she was born?
Selena wasn't born in Mexico. She was actually born in Texas.
Oh yes, like
Um,
close.
yeah, but no, I have not yet been able to see Selena's museum, and
Mhm.
which is located in Corpus Christi in Texas. But I would love to, definitely one day. I would love to, hopefully this year if I can go.
Yeah,
So
that'd be definitely be amazing. Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So, 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 so basically, is your album comes out in May, sometime the summertime, right? And it's possibly there might be a tour maybe in summertime.
Yeah, sometime in the summertime, yeah, is what
That's
I'm
fun.
aiming for.
That's fun. I
Mm,
hear that.
mm,
Yeah, yeah,
mm.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it.
okay, yeah. So do you also do like do you also do club song club like club songs as well on the album too? Club songs?
For the EP, it may or may not have club songs, depends on the vibe of the
Okay,
club. It could be played at the club, it just depends.
Okay.
on the type of vibe.
Okay, that's fun over here. Wow. Yeah. So sounds like you get a lot going for you. That's great. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So so when did you know? So when did you know that you want to be a singer? When you saw Selena, that's when you said you wanted to do. That's when you said you want to be a singer. When you saw Selena,
Yeah, I realized I wanted to be a singer. Honestly, yes, when I started watching the Selena movie. Um, it was just it was just something that out of nowhere that I just kind of felt that I wanted to do. And then I felt it more when I was 15, when I first performed in front of people for the very first time. Because growing up as a child, I had, a good amount of stage fright.
okay.
So I conquered that when I was 15 years old. And then when I did, that's when I realized even more that I was meant to be a performer, and that I was meant to do music, and that's all I cared about.
That's wonderful. How do you do you still get stage fright now?
Say it again?
I said, do you still get stage fright? Get stage fright now?
No, not really. I do get a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious, but stage fright, not really, no.
Okay. And how do you deal with rejection? I mean, how do you deal with rejection? Does it hurt sometimes?
I really do talk to myself about not taking things personal when being rejected and to really not let my ego feel bruised because sometimes rejections can be a blessing.
Uh, I guess that's true.
So I really just try to have a positive outlook on it because when it comes to being in this industry, you're gonna get a lot of rejections from, in the beginning. And then there will come a point where rejections are not really a thing so much, but it still happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff happened. I know it has happened to me too. So I know what you mean.
Mm,
Yeah, I guess that's part of the business. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and
exactly.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Wow. And so 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 I guess so I guess my next question is if you weren't doing music, or if you weren't doing music, what do you think you might be doing if you want to perform?
If I wasn't to do music,
Or perform? What do you think you might be?
um, honestly, I'd probably be working with animals.
Animals? Oh,
Yeah, I grew up as a child growing up. I really loved work like animals, and like I first when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to become a veterinarian, and then one day I was like, yeah, no, we don't want to do that. We actually want to do music. So I always switched off because I was a very ambitious child. I was like a dreamer. I always wanted to do everything all at once, and make it work somehow. Like I remember as a kid, I also thought about becoming a lawyer and
mhm.
stuff like that. But if I wasn't doing music, I would say I definitely would work with animals in some sort of way, like be a zoologist or have my build build my own shelter, have my own organization for animals that are in need, stuff like that. So definitely would do that.
That's one of the yeah, yeah. I mean, I like animals too. They give you a sense of pride. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
yeah. So this is a fun interview. I really enjoyed meeting. Are there any questions you want to ask me now?
Um, no, I don't have any questions, but thank you so much for letting me,
That's
be on your show.
absolutely. Before you go, can you tell me how my fans can find your music? How they can find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me on Yelena Music. Um, everything is that's my Instagram. My link tree's on there. So when you click on my bio, my link tree's on, you can find it. My link tree on the bio and all of my other social medias are on there. My Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, my website, YouTube, and all the music platforms are on there too, where you can find my music. So,
Oh, wonderful. And do you have any videos of you performing on YouTube as well?
yeah, I do have some videos of me performing on YouTube, and I also have music videos on there too. I have two music videos, and my latest music video that I released is titled Diablo, which was released back in December. So
Okay.
definitely, for those watching, definitely check it out.
Oh, okay. And one more question. If you could if you could work with any artist, who would it probably who would it probably be? You know, you could have.
If I could work with any artist, I would say I would work with Christina Aguilera.
Okay, how come you?
I mean, I love her voice. I loved her music growing up as a child too, and she's definitely inspiring. And I would love to learn to sit down with her and talk with her about all the things she's been through in the music industry. So
Okay, that's good. Have you ever seen her in concert?
no, I never seen her in concert, but I watched videos of her performing and stuff. So
That's not a bit, you know. I'm sure she'll work with you too. You know, I mean, yeah, it's just too bad we couldn't work. It's too bad we couldn't work with you know. I would love to work with you know, and you know,
I know, yeah, it is unfortunate, but her memory will always live on. I mean, her legacy will always live on. So
yeah, and would you also want to work? Would you also want to work with Jennifer Lopez if you could, Jennifer Lopez as well?
oh yeah, I would love to. I feel like I would more so want to sit down with her
Mhm.
and to know about her story as well too, and how she became the woman that she became, till this day. So,
Yeah,
and the businesswoman she became.
just by looks, just by me talking to you interview, I can tell you even as much Jennifer Lopez way you talk is like it's almost like I'm interviewing Jennifer Lopez, but I'm interviewing you know next time Yelena Rodriguez, to sing it,
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah, thank you.
it's just a blessing now, and yeah, so but anyway,
Yeah, no, thank you.
I truly appreciate your time, and I will definitely send it. I will send the this one to you by DocuSign tonight, so you can sign it. Send it back to we chance and I'll try and have this interview play next week. But it was just a blessing talking to you.
Okay.
And if you're in Boston, I'm in Boston.
Oh yeah.
If you're in Boston, hopefully we can miss the time, okay? So
Oh yeah, of course. No, and thank you again for connecting with me, reaching out to me. I'm very grateful. So
absolutely,
thank you so much.
thank you. And I will try and send some of my songs as well tonight. Okay, I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good. Of course.
stay safe, okay? And I'll be in touch. Okay? I appreciate you. Bye.
All right.
Take care.
Perfect. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.